Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of the QD Blade 6 Pro Keldon Johnson PE, right? So this shoe retails for 105 bucks. And if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. This is a shoe that I've never seen before, and also a shoe company that I've never heard of before. But a couple of you guys did ask me through DMs on Instagram and also on TikTok. And I try to check all my DMs. If you guys do have any questions or anything like that for me, you guys can always message me there. But yeah, I was like, whose shoe is this, right? And then I checked it out and I got it. So here is my performance review, and let's get it started off with the Tracciones. And in this colorway, we have a solid white rubber outsole with a very chaotic traction pattern. It's kind of like a waffle traction pattern, like around the perimeter of the outsole, and it gets very chaotic in the middle of the forefoot and also in the middle of the heel. But yeah, how is the traction? The traction is pretty good. You know, if you're playing on a clean court, you're gonna be having a good time. I had pretty good stops. It's solid. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's top tier or anything, but it is a solid traction pattern if you're playing on a clean court. However, on dust, it's not the best, right? I wouldn't say it's terrible. You know, it does pick up a little bit of dust, and also you do need to wipe pretty frequently. But the wipe is actually pretty easy, right? You just do 1 to 2 easy slight wipes and you're good to go. It's just you're gonna be wiping a good amount if you're playing on a pretty dusty court, right? And so this is one of the shoes I was playing in with, like the Jalen 2 SE and also the Curry Hover Splash 3 and the Jaw 1. And the Jaw 1 is top tier traction. So the Jaw 1 was just biting through dust very well, right? You guys already know. So yeah, this shoe, it was not biting through dust very well. You know, if it was super dusty, I was sliding around a little bit, and then once I got my wipes in, it was still sliding around a little bit, right? So just be careful on that. If you're playing on an outdoor court, you should be fine, right? The rubber is super hard, and it does say it's extra durable rubber. It's specifically designed for outdoor use as well, so you should be good to go on an outdoor court. And also here in the middle of the outsole, we have a plastic midfoot chain plate and the logo, which looks, you guys know, like the fakes, you know, the fake Jordans. That's kind of what it looks like. But anyways, the traction, it's pretty solid, right? Moving on to the heel to toe transition. Heel to toe transition is super duper smooth, right? So here in the heel, we have a nice round shape, and this Q Kung Fu Turbo midsole, which is a terrible name in my personal opinion. Really, guys? Q Kung Fu Turbo? Really, guys? Q Kung Fu Turbo? But yeah, it's super soft here in the heel, and then in the forefoot we have a nice curve shape and a lot of forefoot flex, but it doesn't really flex in the midfoot, so good torsion support. So heel dominant strides down the court is super duper smooth. And now moving on to one of my favorite parts about this shoe, which is the cushion, right? So it's just a P-Bax foam, and it's pretty damn similar to Boost and also Boom. And what else is there? You know, but it's just basically like pellets that they like mold together with heat, and it's really freaking soft, right? So there's a good amount of compression here in the heel. P-Bax foam, however, it does bottom out kind of quickly, relatively quickly, so it does feel a little bit more dead, you know, a little bit more worn out, but it's still pretty damn soft, which I do like. I feel like it was a little too soft for me even when I first got it, but now it feels pretty damn nice, right? So here in the heel, good amount of compression, soft, not a whole lot of bounce to it. However, it's not like, you know, you don't get a crazy rebound back or anything. I would say it's just more soft, but that's still good. And then heel strikes, I was good to go. Impact protection is great, and step and comfort is really good, right? So the insole is all right. It's just a regular type of insole, nothing amazing. However, the stroke board is actually really soft. Like when you look at it, it looks like a pretty normal stroke board, but like when you feel it with your fingers, and also when you put the shoe on, it's just really soft. So step and comfort and underfoot cushioning is really good in the shoe as well. Court feel, however, isn't the best. I would say it's around normal, you know, nothing terrible, but also nothing amazing as far as court feel goes. So it's a really nice overall cushioning setup. I really liked it. And now moving on to the material. So we have kind of like a textile material, right? Like a textile mesh, and it feels all right, you know, especially for the price. It does feel pretty cheap, you know, but on foot it feels great. You know, it's super comfortable. It conforms to your foot extremely well. It's relatively thin too, and also here in the toe box, like at the edge, we have a bit of fuse for extra durability and support. We have like a flywire cable for like the first eyelet on the lateral and medial side, and then here in the midfoot it stays extremely thin. The tongue is like, I would say there's an average amount of padding, you know, it's kind of plush, and it's also a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, it's pretty minimal as far as the padding goes as well. So yeah, it feels really nice on foot. Actually, it felt really good on foot. You know, it's just the quality, like I said. I mean, for 105 bucks, you can't really complain, but also it's not like super terrible for the quality. I wouldn't say it's really, really bad. It was just like, it's all right, you know? So overall, I do like the material choice and the upper in the shoe. And now moving on to the fit, I went true to size and it fits me well lengthwise, right? So my toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe, which I do like. I like to have a very snug fit. However, this material does stretch out over time. Once you play in it and break it in, it does stretch out and it does scrunch up. You know, just like the Curry 1 low Flotro. Once you like tighten like the first two eyelets, as you guys can see, it scrunches up a good amount. Look at that. So it does get pretty damn roomy here in the toe box, which I don't like personally. I like to have a very snug toe box, right? If you like that fit, of course, everyone's preferences are different, then that's fine, you know. But if you want a snug fit like me, then this definitely is not the best option. Widthwise, I would say it's around normal to slightly narrow. So overall fit, it wasn't terribly roomy. However, it wasn't the best fit for me, right? So there's the fit there. Moving on to the support and lockdown, I was good to go, right? So lateral containment, as you guys can see for lateral counters, this plastic piece does come up here in the forefoot, acting as a sidewall, and it kind of dips down, right? And it comes back up here in the heel to act kind of like an external heel counter as well. But there also seems to be an internal tibia heel counter. And I like the design of this because it acts as a sidewall and acts as a sidewall again, right? But also it cages the cushion in the forefoot and in the midfoot a little bit, but it leaves the heel exposed, which I do like. I'm glad they didn't cage the cushion like crazy. So lateral containment, I was good to go. My foot was not coming out of the footbed at all. And even with the roomier fit, my foot wasn't moving around too much inside of the shoe just because it was a really snug fit, like lengthwise too. So that wasn't terrible for me. And also lateral stability was pretty good. You know, we have a little bit of an outrigger, we have a wide base as well. The lateral stability was good and I didn't really experience any type of heel slippage or anything like that. So support and lockdown was overall pretty damn good. Now moving on to the weight of the shoe, if I remember correctly, it's around like average weight, I think, like 12-13 ounces, right? Oh no, it's a little bit heavier, 13.62 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 13.51 ounces. So that's like around an ounce heavier than average for my size shoe, right? And it doesn't feel super light or anything, but it also doesn't feel super heavy, right? And also it doesn't feel like bulky or anything at all, like nothing like protrudes out like crazy. It's a pretty streamlined shoe, you know, as far as like how the shoe is designed. And also it feels pretty responsive, you know. When I was playing in it, especially on like a relatively clean court, the traction was good. The cushion was soft, but not too soft or mushy or anything like that. And then the overall support was good for me as well. So I had a pretty good time playing in this shoe, right? It's just not a huge fan of the roomier toe box, right? And now moving on to the ventilation, not that good. There's not a whole lot of airflow. Or actually there's like really no airflow through this upper. So I would say it's pretty hot for the ventilation. And aesthetically, not a huge, I don't know guys. I don't know. I'm a little indifferent. You know, it does look kind of cheap to me, you know, like especially when you get it in hand and up close. I really don't like the logo. But I love this colorway. This colorway is just like a simple black and white colorway. It kind of reminds me of the suit and tie, which is one of my favorite colorways of the Curry 2, which is, the Curry 2 is one of my favorite shoes of all time, right? So I like the colorway, but not the silhouette all too much, right? So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, for 105 bucks, I would say it's a pretty good performer. You know what I mean? You get really good cushion, and cushion is the one thing that companies take away, especially like Nike, like the big three, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas. Cushion is what they take away on their budget shoes, right? On their cheaper shoes. But you get pretty damn nice cushion in this shoe for a very, very good price. Traction overall is pretty solid. Material feels great on foot. Support and lockdown was good for me. So overall, it's a pretty solid shoe and I had a pretty good time playing it. It's definitely not one of my favorites, however, but I did enjoy my time in the shoe a good amount, right? If you're a guard, I feel like you would enjoy this shoe. Also, if you're a bigger dude, you should be fine. You know, like I said, support was great and also the cushion is really, really nice. So I feel like a good amount of people will enjoy the shoe. But anyways, that about concludes my performance review. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.